Hello and welcome to something a bit different. This time I'll be playing through the real Prince of Persia, as coded by someone who actually gave a toss about what he was doing, namely Jordan Mechner. He wrote the original Apple II version of Prince of Persia, and he also did this PC port, which is really good in stark contrast to the morally repugnant Nintendo version that I did a few years ago. This is a video that I've been wanting to do since I started doing videos around 2006. I started this when I was still on iMovie, but as you'd expect from something on iMovie, that was really dreadful, so I forgot about it. I remembered, after watching all the incredible videos from AGDQ, yeah, that's it, and I wanted to submit my effort as well. This is the only game in which I've ever done anything that could remotely be described as speedrunning. Unfortunately, like I said, I last played this game in 2006, and since then, about a billion new tricks have been discovered, and my previously very impressive time looks absolutely terrible, but in spirit this is me speedrunning Prince of Persia. This is me going into moderate pace through Prince of Persia, but I'm going to do something at least a little different, and that is this. The first thing we do is skip some levels. The game has a sort of practice mode where you're allowed to skip up to level 4, but it puts your timer down to 15 minutes like you saw there, with the intention that it would be impossible to complete the game in that time. Was it possible? We'll find out. There's a bit of a tricky bit coming up already here, where I have to jump and turn around just so that I knock that tile down and then go back without crashing into the portcullis. Prince of Persia is a really interesting game because while the levels are laid out on the grid, as you can see, the prince isn't. His step doesn't quite match up to one tile, so the game aligns you automatically when it needs to, but that kind of behaviour means that you can take advantage of a lot of quirks that come about in the engine as a result. You might have seen that I turned off the sound at the start of the video, and I get a bit confused here because, as you can hear, there is clearly still sound. I think there's some oddity in the Sound Blaster audio that means that the sound turning off means you're actually turning off the music. But I did that because when you complete a level, there's a little Persian jingle just after you've gone through the exit, and the timer is still going when that goes on, so if you turn off the music, you save yourself about a minute over the course of the game. This is a lot more difficult to commentate on than I thought. I was going to give you some storyline and some backstory to the game, but I'm going to talk a mile a minute here just to keep up with what's going on. We've opened the exit to the level. This level has something special at the end of it where we need to get past this mirror. There it is. And the shadow runs out. I suppose it would be a reflection more logically, and he will be back to bother us later in the game. We're skipping fights with guards. It's slightly dangerous, but it saves so much time that it's worth it. Level 5, right, quick, how much time have we got left? We have 14 minutes left, which means we only spent 1 minute on level 4, we're looking good. This is the first guard in the game where it's easier to sword fight him rather than skip past him, because I'm trying to get up to that ledge on the right, and with him in the way I wouldn't be able to do it. Come on, guard. There we go. Okay, I should say right now, by the way, that obviously I'm not commenting on this video as I'm playing it. I'm watching it like you and just speaking as I go, because trying to do a commentary on this game and speedrun it is like trying to put a live octopus into a tube of Pringles while giving a lecture on quantum thermodynamics. It's just not possible. Climb on there rather than jumping across because it's faster to drop down. Here's another guard. I might actually get a chance to breathe now. Oh no, I skipped him as well. Okay, so, to the left now, there is a fairly clear run towards the exit. We just have to swap positions with several guards on the way. You can skip a fight with a guard if you knock him away twice, he parries, or you hit him once. That's the general rule. Sometimes it doesn't work, as you will discover to your cost. Right, I think he was the last one. Yes, we just have to run and jump to the exit, wait for that door to open. Isn't it amazing how all these mechanisms worked without microcontrollers in those days? And we are on to level 6, where we will encounter the first boss of the game, who is affectionately known as Fatty. You'll see why. Slightly awkward arrangement of spikes and drops here. You'll see that I mess it up a bit here where I'm hesitant just there. Eventually I decide to jump over them rather than falling forward onto my face. And here he is. He's been to one too many Persian banquets, and an epic battle ensues, and we just run away from it like usual. Here's another encounter with the shadow. If you make it across that pit, he just steps on the plate and sends you down anyway, so you have to fall down there. You can save time by doing it yourself. And we're back down to the dungeons in level 7 because our prince saved himself with his fingers because he is bionic. Going to jump through the chopper, just made it. Okay, so you push this tile down because it makes it easier later on. You pull that tile down. If you duck, then the tile breaks harmlessly across your back and you don't lose health from it. Nobody quite knows why. Here's another guard. We're going to skip past him, and here I'm about to do one of the more blatant cheats of the game. If we run into this wall, turn around. Watch out, we're going to go through a wall. There we go, and skip most of the level. This is where you start feeling the effects of not having picked up any health potions throughout the game. You can extend your health bar, but we stay at 3 throughout the game in the speedrun. We only have 2 here because we did that jump through the wall, and this is going to present problems for us later on as well. Choppers! Right, this is all in the timing, and you need a considerable amount of luck as well, honestly. Don't try that at home. This is the room where we knocked down the tile earlier. It means that we skip having a tile that closes the portcullis down there. This potion makes you light for a while, so you can survive this drop. I don't know why I put it there, because you can survive that drop anyway, just by clinging off the edge, but this makes it slightly faster. And we are going to open the exit. We're at the end of level 7, and as you'd expect, we are on to the numerically improved level 8. There's a mouse. I hate level 8. This is where I always spend the vast majority of my time in this game because it's long and you really can't cock anything up. Everything needs to come together. This guard has an unusual attack pattern. He just sits there and waits for you to advance, so he's even more difficult to bypass than normal. And that's just the first obstacle of the level. Suffice to say, the title of this video is Prince of Persia in 15 minutes. In reality, this is Prince of Persia in a day of my life that I'll never have again. Biting gates are always a worry. They cause instant death, but you need to memorise which ones you can jump through, which ones jumping through will get you killed, and so on. You can jump... Wow! Okay, as I was saying, you might have noticed me jumping about more than I really needed to throughout the game, because running jumps are so much faster than just running, so whenever you can do them without flying off a ledge into spikes, it's really worth it. Level 8's really wide, so as long as you remember in this stretch where those spike shrubs are, you can really speed along here like the Prince of Rabbits, and eventually reach the other side. And the good news is that you now have to do all of that again going left. I'm probably going to be dead by the time I finish this commentary, but I've been doing really well at this level this time. I've got 3 health points left. You can only afford to lose 1 point of health on this level, and fights with guards are always really nerve-wracking, but I got past him. Let's see if we can survive the going left on this level as easily. Not as easy when you have biting gates around. You can just fly through here. Just remember where to time your jumps, where you can jump, where you can't jump. Here's another guard. I wasted some time here. I sword fought this guard rather than skipping him, partially because I wanted to complete this game and not fling my keyboard out the window in frustration. You can skip him, but it's easier to have him off there so that you have more time to make this jump, which you just squeeze through. This part of the level on the left here is a trap. It's designed so that you have to take too long to get through it to make it before that portcullis closes. But, fortunately, we know the layout of the choppers, we know we can run and jump, and we've made it out. If you don't make it out, you have to wait for the mouse to come onto the screen, press the button down and rescue you, and so we've saved at least 30 seconds here, I would say. Right, level 8, it's finally over. Level 9 comes next. It's level 9, and we have 9 minutes left, so it's not looking particularly good for our prince. You can skip this bit here, going slightly through the portcullis. So we're going to be relying on the relative tininess of levels 10 and 11 later on. I said earlier that I hated level 8. I also hate level 9, but not quite as much. There's a little bit of leeway here, even though I think the level is slightly longer. Messed that up. You should skip guards before hitting them. Remember that. And during this long climb, I might actually be able to give you a bit of introduction at last. Hello, this is Prince of Persia. It's a game written in 1999 by Jordan Mechner. The storyline is that you're a prince thrown into the deepest dungeon of the palace, while Jafar, because they're all called Jafar, has said to the princess that he will give her 60 minutes to marry him or die. And your objective, as this rather suspiciously white future Prince of Persia, but that's colonialism for you, is to rescue the princess and become the prince. Watch out for that tile. Okay, there's a bit of a trick here which I missed. You're meant to delay hitting the cling on button and you'll get down there faster. It's possible there to do the same trick I did in level 4, slide over that tile and knock it down without having to cling on and waste some time. I didn't do it then. It's nearly impossible. What do you want me to do? I think I may have invented the new genre of the apology. The apology speedrun. I've forgotten what a speedrun's called. All my commentary has just run out. I've run out of batteries. I can't do any more. I've just been going a mile in a minute for the last half hour or so. What was it, half an hour? No, it was about 9 minutes. Okay. More guards, more jumps. You've got to remember when you can and can't jump. There's nothing much more interesting to say about this route at the top of level 9. Playing on here. Thank you. There's something interesting here though, because you confuse the game engine a bit. If you cling onto that, you drop down, and we're going to drop down 2 ledges at once. and the chopper just doesn't activate. I don't know why that happens. I don't think there's anywhere else in the game where you can drop down like that without going right all the way to the ring. I don't know. Watch out! Oh, I lost my bottle completely there. I could have probably jumped through it, but I was at the end of level 9, had done it perfectly, and I didn't want to waste it. Let's run away from him. And finally, the exit is open. The tile that we knocked down earlier opens that portcullis and keeps it open so we can actually activate the exit. So, level 10, we're back in the palace. It's different this time. We've only got 7 minutes left. We'd better hurry up. There are 12 levels, or 14, depending on who you ask. Have I mentioned that already? I can't even remember. The last few minutes of my life have just been a blur. Let's skip past him and run. Here's another unique bit, where, well, it's not unique because you can do this anytime, it's just that this is the place where it comes in useful. If you tiptoe around, the guards can't actually hear you. So after that, you can sneak up behind him and knock him off the edge. It's an innovative game in many ways, this. Actually, just now it seems to be inventing dubstep. I say that, I don't know what dubstep is. I just know if it sounds like someone's put all their cutlery into a washing machine, that's dubstep. Another full sword fight here. That hasn't happened in a while, but you need him out the way because the button to open that door is right above him in the ceiling, the top left there, where you would never be able to see it. I don't know who designed this palace. Little trick here again, ducking down and standing up while the tile goes through you. Here's the last room of the level, where I cannot remember what to do. I know there's a faster way than just walking all the way there, walking all the way back, and then fighting the guard. I don't know what it was, and I'm sure it wouldn't have helped me anyway. Let's just run away. Level 11's a weird level because it looks kind of straightforward, but you have to find a secret way round. You can't complete it in the way that it looks like you have to. And here is that secret. If you knock out that tile on the roof, you can go up to beyond the drop ceiling and knock the entire thing down. And you need to do that because in the room below here, there's a row of 4 or 3 closed tiles that you can't get over without having held them down first. So we're past that part of the puzzle, need to run past this portcullis we opened, and we're in the second half of the level. You know, the weighting of this game is sort of interesting. I never really noticed this fully, but levels 7, 8, and 9 are really long. The levels around them take a couple of minutes each, so it's as if he wanted to really worry you at the size these levels were getting, and then give you a bit of relaxation towards the end. I have no idea how to efficiently pass that obstacle. Come to think of it, this level is actually fairly unique in just being a run from left to right, but there's this little nook at the end. There's a guard there. We can knock him down, but we need to watch out when we come back here. We need to be able to avoid him. That's the exit door open, and that's us nearly at the end of the game, and thankfully for me, nearly at the end of this commentary. Someone please get me a drink. You get a different cutscene between levels if you're nearly out of time. Here I skipped it, so never mind. At last, we are on level 12. We have 4 minutes left. It's not a lot, but it's enough to get us through. I actually forgot how to speedrun this level. I realised when I reached it and I had to go and look it up on the internet, so not my proudest moment, but I did eventually get through it, and there are a couple of interesting moments in it. Usually you would go to the left just there over the spikes and do some running and jumping to get up to here. This is an alternative route. If you abuse the game's engine the way that you're not on the grid a bit so that you knock out that tile but remain on the platform that you're standing on, you can knock out that tile and you can skip most of that half of the level. Trouble is, doing that half of the level is actually faster, so nothing gained there. What happens next, though, is going to take some explanation. If you take the normal route on this level, you reach a screen where there's a sword lying on the ground, but when you come back it's gone. I'm not going to take the normal route. I am instead going to do a strange skip tactics, where I leap off the left-hand side of this ledge, and teleport to the screen above somehow. I don't really know why. Someone said it might be some sort of integer overflow because the platform is 256 pixels above the one it's aiming for. I don't know. Sword's still there. I'll take care of that myself. You notice that he's misaligned with the tiles, so something is definitely wrong here. So when you come back on the screen, Shadow drops down. If you run him through with the sword, you'll die as well, so instead you have to put your sword away and fuse with him, after which you go over this unhinted invisible bridge and reach level 12 again. This is level 13 or level 12B, depending on which version you're playing, but we are at the final battle now. So this level behaves a little strangely with regard to time. I don't think you actually get a game over if you run out of time here. Maybe it's just when you reach this screen, because here at last is Jafar. We are going to have a sword fight to the death, and it's going to take very little time because I just knock him down there. 2 minutes left. I did it in 13 minutes, so the answer to the question, is it possible to complete Prince of Persia in the practice mode, is yes, barely. The answer to, is it possible to commentate on Prince of Persia played in the practice mode, is also yes, barely. I think I may have to go and lie down. But at least we can enjoy a happy ending. Bag my head a bit there. We have finally reached the princess, and I have reached the end of my tether. That's the end. Everybody is safe, including the mouse. Hello, mouse. Thank you, mouse. So, that was Prince of Persia, as it probably wasn't meant to be played ever, to be honest, but at least I finally brought one of my favourite games ever into a video. It's one of those perfect things that has just the right number of unintentional quirks in it that allows people to keep discovering new ways to do things, new routes, new tricks of the engine. I think the lesson here is, if you want to make a fantastic, enduring game, make it slightly badly. Or something like that. The screen's gone all weird. I think that's a good time to end it on that note. That has been Prince of Persia in 15 minutes, more or less. I hope you enjoyed it, even though I didn't really get time to say anything interesting. And I think I'm going to go and pass out. Bye!